happy souls, welcome back to my channel. This is Charlotte with Happy Twins 1111. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I have got limited time to make a video today, so I'm not doing extended readings with these. And I've also pre-prepared the cards just to save a little bit of time. So I've got 3 paths for you, and we're asking, why is your person not communicating? Why are they silent? What's blocking them from coming forward? So in pile 1, we've got the clear quartz hexagon. In pile 2, we've got green opal. And in pile 3, we have Amatrine. Now, there's no right or wrong way to choose a pile. Just see which one you're drawn to. You may be drawn to more than one, and that just means there's messages in more than one pile for you. You can find the timestamps in the comments down below. And if you're interested in what decks I'm using, you can find that information in the description box. Now, I just want to send out a beautiful big thanks as well to Patricia, who sent me this beautiful deck, which we are using in today's reading. This is the Angels of Atlantis Oracle cards. Thank you so much, Patricia. Patricia is a student of mine, and she's also a friend. She's just amazing, and this is so generous of you. Thank you. You guys have really spoiled me this last couple of weeks. I've received so many decks and so many donations through my PayPal, and I appreciate that so much. And I can see that so many more of you are watching my adverts. Now, it's not obligatory at all to donate anything, and I really appreciate you just being here with me to tune in and to share this journey with me. But when you watch an advert, I do receive a small amount of revenue for every 1 minute of adverts that you watch, and that really helps me. And it's a nice energy exchange, isn't it, for the free readings I provide. So thank you to those of you that do that for me. I really, really do appreciate it, and it really does help. So let's do this. I'm going to move piles 2 and 3 out of the way, and we're going to start with pile 1, the hexagon clear quartz. So let's look at the cards first, the tarot cards. We've got the Ace of Cups in reverse. We've got the 7 of Cups in reverse. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. And then we have the 5 of Wands. And from the True Love reading cards, we've got intimacy, forgiveness, Raphael, cleansing, and Michael, I am presence. Now, I'm going to use some of these cards as well. I've written on these myself. They're just blanks that I've put messages on. So let's have a good shuffle of these. I add a few more to them each day, so it's quite a considerable pile now. Okay. There is too much going on in my life right now. You are always on my mind, every second, every minute of every day. As long as you're trying, I'm staying, but if you want me to, I will let you go. I fear I can never live up to your expectations. I have so much growing still to do. I'm sorry, I'm just not ready. Compared to you, I'm a loser. You deserve so much better. So really powerful messages coming forward there. I feel really guided also to use some of these cards. This is the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine Reunited deck. We've got Aries, God of Battle. Yeshua, God of Unity. Ganesha, God of Obstruction, and Karma. So let me just check that these are all in shot. Oh, sorry for the wobbly camera. Yeah, pretty much. I can move these up a touch so you can see them all. There we go. I think that kind of works. Perfect. Okay. So pile 1, why is your person not communicating with you? Why are they silent? What is blocking them from coming forward? Straight away, the first card out is the Ace of Cups in reverse, and what I'm hearing is that this person has a very blocked heart space. Now, you've got to remember that when a heart is blocked, the ability of the individual to feel and connect with the emotion of love is going to be limited. And I do feel that this is primarily why this person isn't coming forward, and they're not making, I guess, any effort for you. Now, this probably isn't going to be an easy message for you to receive. But I want to impart something about my own journey, which I think will help you understand where this person is at. Because when I first met my twin, I didn't really understand why I felt so magnetized to him. My ego really couldn't compute as to how I found this person attractive. That's to say that he didn't tick any of my boxes. You know, whilst I could appreciate he was handsome and that there was this fabulous chemistry between us, my ego really rejected him, and yet I could not let him go. And it was actually really madly annoying for me that this person that, you know, my ego just saw that they weren't the kind of person I wanted to be with, and yet there was something that kept me pulled towards them, that kept me magnetized to them. And so what I'm trying to impart is that when we're existing in the lower levels of ego consciousness, we can't always recognize the truth of what this situation, this connection presents. I wasn't able to identify what I was experiencing as love in the first couple of years that I met my twin flame. I just knew that I was madly attracted to him, and I didn't understand why. And my ego wouldn't allow me to identify it as love because I didn't want to be in love with him. And I really feel like this is where your person is. They are resisting very much because they're not yet understanding the depth of their own feelings. Their heart space is blocked, and this energy is not flowing freely. Now, despite this, they are very magnetized to you. This person thinks about you a lot. You are always on my mind, every second, every minute of every day. And this is truly how it was for me. You know, I didn't want to think about them. I really resisted, and, you know, I didn't want them. And yet I couldn't get this person off my mind. And even after a 2.5 year separation, they were the first and last thing on my mind every day. And I feel this is how it is for your person. It's an unfathomable magnetism. And, you know, their ego judges you. Their ego genuinely believes that you are not the right person for them because their heart is not engaged. Now, I also feel that this person is probably involved with someone else as well. I do feel like with the Queen of Pentacles here, I do see this as the wife card. So for some of you, there could be a third party, a karmic partner of some kind, but someone else that is, you know, unfortunately, at the moment, an obstacle to this connection really getting off the ground. But this person isn't making any decisions at the moment about you. I have to be honest with you. They're not seeing you as an option. And yet they do feel this powerful magnetism. I feel like they haven't treated you very fairly, and this person knows that they need to apologize, and they don't necessarily feel ready to do that. I feel like for some of you as well, that you're very accomplished and very successful. So some of you, this won't be a karmic partner. For some of you, this Queen of Pentacles will represent you. You know, this really powerful, really independent, accomplished and abundant person. And, you know, that can make them feel really inferior because we have got the Nine of Pentacles here. You know, this person doesn't have any of the success, abundance or comforts that you enjoy. And with the Page of Pentacles in reverse here, you know, this could mean as well as a reluctance to apologize and come forward, it can also demonstrate a massive inferiority complex as far as their material world is concerned. So this person is playing games with you. You know, they are stuck in these lower levels of ego consciousness. Now, what I'm hearing is that, you know, they do feel very physically attracted to you. You know, I feel like this is how they can express themselves and how they do show you that, you know, they are into you. But this person is, as I said, disconnected from their heart space. And it just feels like they're still in a very immature energy of trying to win points, of trying to, you know, burn hot and cold so that they're confusing you and keeping you engaged. Forgiveness. Yeah, I feel like this person has really put you on a pedestal. And even though they don't identify with feelings of love at this stage in time, they do feel very ashamed about how they've treated you. It definitely feels like there's been a tremendous amount of self-reflection here as far as they're concerned, and it's really triggered them. You know, they do feel ashamed and they do feel guilty for the way they've treated you, because even though that love isn't flowing yet, it's there, it's just not flowing. But even though it's not flowing, you know, that this whole experience has triggered their conscience, and they do see you as this wonderful, light, kind and very loving person. They never wanted to hurt you. Michael. Archangel Michael is about protection. But in this card, it's called I Am Presence. And I really do feel like your presence is very intense and very overwhelming for them. And again, reverting back to my own journey, this is how I felt around my twin. I knew that the energy between us was intense, but I didn't understand it. And I found it really overwhelming, sometimes too intense. It disabled who I thought I was. And I didn't know how to behave around this person. I couldn't be myself. And I feel this is the energy they're in, that their subconscious and their body and, you know, all of the parts of themselves that are connected to divinity is really feeling your presence and the intensity of your energy and presence, but they can't compute what that means. At this stage, I don't feel they have any understanding of what's really happening with you two. And so they are in this energy of resistance, they're in this energy of running. Now, it says here as well, there is too much going on in my life right now. And I do feel that this person, as I said, isn't as accomplished as you. There could be an age gap of some sort here as well. But for sure, they're experiencing some kind of difficulty. So some of them, it could be a karmic partner. And we do have the karma card here, which depicts, you know, different people. So there's for sure, and we've also got God of Obstruction, you know, there's for sure practical circumstances surrounding this person that prevents them from really engaging in any kind of committed union or relationships as well. So they're not just running from the relationship with you, you know, this person's running from their emotions in general and trying very hard to juggle some very difficult circumstances. And it does say here, I have so much growing still to do. I'm sorry, I'm just not ready. And it just does feel like that. Like this person has a lot going on. They're rediscovering who they are. You know, this cleansing that's happening is a result of the triggers that have presented because of your connection. And this person is giving that a lot of thought. They're just not understanding yet. We've also got here, I fear I can never live up to your expectations. And compared to you, I'm a loser. You deserve so much better. And again, this is the energy of you being on this pedestal and them assuming that, you know, you're going to want something that they can't offer. So there's definitely a communication issue here as far as them understanding what you want and how you feel. It does say here, as long as you're trying, I'm staying, but if you want me to, I will let you go. And I feel this is kind of that cruel to be kind energy. This person probably never outright completely ignores you. They may take a long time to reply, but I do feel like they, you know, they maintain this communication. They do keep in touch with you. They just can be cold and unresponsive at times. But in reality, you know, their acceptance of you and I guess the evidence of this magnetism that exists between you is presented when they do maintain some communication. They just go for long periods of time, perhaps without saying anything. But actually, even though they run, they do always return and they do want to kind of stay and they're not even sure why. You know, they just feel that there is something, but they don't know what it is. And again, you know, please believe me when I tell you I've been in this energy, okay? And you mustn't take it personally because it's not personal. Their rejection of you or their inability to see your value, to connect with the love they have for you inside is actually nothing to do with you and everything to do with the stage they're at in their journey. And as I said, they are deeply in ego. Now, we've got God of Battle here as well. And it does feel like there may have been some kind of conflict. It says here as well, you know, again, compared to you, I'm a loser, you deserve so much better. And again, there's this forgiveness and need for apology. It does feel like this person, in trying to push you away, has actually crossed a line and really, really hurt you. It definitely feels like there's been some kind of conflict. But I feel like, God of Unity, Jesus or Yeshua, this card is here to remind you what this journey is really about. And, despite these obstructions, the karma that may exist that keeps this person from coming forward or keeps them stuck in these lower levels of consciousness and this conflict, that Jesus, the God of Unity, is to remind you what you're actually working towards. Now, unity is the opposite of duality. And duality is believing that we are separate. And in the twin flame journey, when we use the term separation, what that actually describes is the 3D perception of separation or duality. In truth, Jesus reminds us that we're always in union, that there is only unity, that we're not actually separate from anything, from our environment, from one another, from our circumstances, that everything is actually connected, that we're all one. And that's what God consciousness is. It's not an individual, it's the whole. And so you are really being asked to step into this energy and understanding that there is no such thing as separation. And you need to elevate yourself out of the pain. Because right now, the most this person can offer you is that physical intimacy. Their heart is not yet functioning in a way that allows them to meet you halfway as far as the love you're able to provide is concerned. So I'm going to use a different tarot deck to pull some more cards here so we can get some more clarity and also some guidance for you. And I'll pull some charms as well. So you just need to kind of really come to terms with the idea that, this person isn't rejecting you for any other reason, that right now they lack understanding, they lack emotional depth and connection to the truth of who they are in their heart space. And because there is a tremendous amount going on in their life. So let's get some guidance. What's the guidance for you from Spirit in terms of how to best deal with this separation, this lack of contact, or this perceived separation, I should say? So we've got the High Priestess in reverse, we've got the Hierophant, we've got the Three of Cups in reverse, we've got the Nine of Pentacles, and we've got the Four of Swords in reverse. So what I'm hearing is that you do your utmost to run as well. You try really hard to distract yourself from this person and to not think about them. And with the Nine of Pentacles coming up here, I feel like this is something you do through your work and your very practical life circumstances. You're the sort of person that distracts yourself from unwanted thoughts and feelings by investing more heavily in housework, your job, keeping yourself busy with mundane tasks. Now, what Spirit is actually asking you to do here, with the High Priestess in reverse, it's showing us that you are disconnected from your own divinity. And you need to understand that your own divinity opens the divine path for your counterpart also. So by investing in yourself, your own growth, your own healing, and your connection to Source and Spirit, you're actually strengthening this connection and driving it forward. There really is a need to embrace the truth of who you are and to recognize that you are on a spiritual path and a spiritual journey. Right now you have a choice to make. You can either evolve and take different steps, or you can continue repeating this cycle, which my gut feeling says has been going on for quite some time. And it really is up to you. You can stay in this energy as long as you want, but so long as you continue doing the same things, i.e. distracting yourself from this and trying to get over it, you're actually delaying your progress towards what you truly want. So, the High Priestess in reverse really asks you to recognize and connect with your own truth and power. And it feels like there's a lot of fear surrounding this for you. Perhaps you fear you would be judged in your current social or familial environment that people wouldn't accept this part of you. But in reality, spirituality is a very private thing. You don't have to discuss it with anyone. Prayer or meditation is something that happens in our minds and in private. And, you don't need all the trappings of this woo-woo stuff. You don't need to discuss it or share it with anybody. But this does bring me to this Three of Cups in the middle, because there is a need here to reach out and to find other like-minded souls that are also on this path. It feels like you kind of have rejected this community somewhat. And you feel that the energies, surrounding it are kind of a bit intense and weird. And it feels like you're kind of sat on the fence with no one to really talk to about what's happening to you and for you through this connection. So you are really guided as well to seek support, to find others within this community that you can share this with. If you haven't already, do join my Facebook group. You can find a link to it in the description box below. It's a support group for exactly people going through this journey like you. And it's such a warm and welcoming community. I'm so privileged to share that space with all the happy souls over there. We'd be delighted, to have you join us. The Hierophant as well shows you the key. This is a doe here. This is a divine feminine symbol, this deer. And this card demonstrates the Hierophant is about higher wisdom, attainment of higher learning. It's about spiritual authority. But above all else, I see it as the teacher-student card. And it is showing us here the key to your divine femininity is through this higher learning. Your soul is calling you now, and you really need to answer the call. So I'm going to get some of these cards as well. These are some other cards I've written on, but they're just messages from Spirit. So what other guidance does Spirit have for you? How to deal with this? Accept all that transpires and trust in the divine plan. You are already in union. Separation is an illusion. Ego blames others. Taking ownership of your pain empowers your divinity. Pay attention to the triggers. They are showing you where you need to heal. And learn to appreciate where you are and how far you've come, instead of being so focused on where you are not. So these are really powerful messages. I'll get some charms in a minute. But yeah, you need to recognize that surrender and acceptance is just to give in. It's to say, okay, I acknowledge I can't control this. I acknowledge it simply is, and there's nothing I can do about it. This is happening to me. It's happening for me. I'm part of this great, mad, cosmic journey, and I'm just going to let be and allow God and the divine plan to move me forward in whichever way is right for me. Surrender is just to accept, to stop trying to control it externally, to stop wishing it was different. And it says here as well, learn to appreciate where you are and how far you've come, instead of being so focused on where you are not. Yeah, this is about understanding that every step of the journey is valuable and worthwhile. And honestly, I can tell you quite sincerely that the surrender stage so far has been the most beautiful part of the journey for me. I'm in the beginnings of early union stage right now, and that's actually really challenging. It's not as difficult as it's more difficult, than the runner chaser bit and the surrender bit, I promise you. It's actually more challenging. So be careful what you wish for, because the best bit, the most exciting and wonderful bit was reclaiming my own divinity and finding that peace within me. And whilst what's happening to me now is beautiful and exciting, and I'm so grateful to be where I am very nostalgic for this period of learning and growth that I went through, because it was so magical. And I have so much gratitude for this journey. So just trust it's going to be okay. As I said earlier, separation is an illusion, and this has come up over Jesus, the God of unity, reminding you that nothing is separate, certainly not your twin. We are all connected, and you are divinely connected to your twin for all eternity. Ego blames others. Taking ownership of your pain empowers your divinity. There's a real need here to take responsibility for, and to be aware of and reflect on your own behaviors. If you're blaming or criticizing or complaining and wishing other people had behaved differently because they've made you feel bad, then, you know, you're actually disempowering yourself. And to complain is to choose victim consciousness. You know, when power is taking ownership of it, and that's what it says here. Taking ownership of your pain empowers your divinity. So stop blaming others and learn to respond to the negative feelings you have by self-soothing, by taking responsibility and caring for yourself and giving yourself that love. And pay attention to the triggers. They are showing you where you need to heal. Now, I posted about this on my community page on YouTube today. Do go over and check out that post, in which I talked about, you know, how our divine masculines, they're divinely guided to trigger us. It's their job to pour salt in our wounds and to show us where we need to heal. So pay attention to these lessons that are being presented. You know, this is where the progress and power is. So what about your person? What's the guidance for how to deal with the absence of communication right now? If you can read this, you are too close. We've got the paper fortune teller, the white rabbit, hard times, hello, I'm a bad idea, and love hurts. So this is a really clear message for me. You know, right now, this is where you're meant to be. And this is what it's saying about accept all that transpires, yeah? The divine plan isn't always love and light. You can see here there's a happy face, a sad face, a heart. The heart reminds us that love can and does hurt. These are hard times, and right now your person is a bad idea. They're not ready for you. And, you know, they don't want to be close to you right now. Right now they need space, and you need space. You need space to grow. Now, I think the most important charm that came up here is this white rabbit. Now, the white rabbit is always fearful that they're late, that they're supposed to be somewhere else, and they're just rushing to get there. This is the energy of impatience, frustration, and fear. I'm late. You know, I must get there. Time's running out. And, you know, he's even wearing a yellow jacket, which is the colour of the solar plexus, which is our main trigger centre. So you've got to be aware of how your impatience and frustration is actually blocking the divine flow of union energies. All that Spirit wants you to do is to surrender, accept, and trust the divine plan. There is no such thing as late. Everything is moving along in perfect timing for you. And you're going in the direction and at the pace that you're supposed to. Learning to accept that is going to be a really powerful shift for you, just to give in and say, okay. Because this person, if they are your divine counterpart, they're always going to come back. And how things are now isn't how things are always going to be. This is such a transient journey. Nothing stays the same. And believe me, I went through years of separation, years of running and chasing, years of just friendship and platonic interactions. And, you know, my divine masculine line now, we're in a really different place, and you're going to be as well. So I really hope this has helped you to figure out where you need to go next, what you need to do next, and hopefully inspired you to get into this energy of trust and acceptance. And for sure, please come and join us in the Facebook group so we can offer you that love and support. You know, we're all in this together. We rise by lifting each other, and we definitely are stronger united. It is such a supportive group. So hopefully I'll see you there. Thank you so much, part one. It's been a pleasure as always. And if you haven't already, do check me out on Instagram. You can find me at happysouls1111, and you can also find a link to my website and all the other stuffs in the description box below. And yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. Right, let's clear these cards away and get the show rolling for pile 2. Thanks so much, pile 1. Lots of love, and I'll see you next time. Okay, pile 2, here we are. You've chosen the green opal. We've got the same cards for you. Obviously not the same cards, but from the same decks. So let's look at the tarot cards first. We have got the Three of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, the Five of Pentacles in reverse, the Six of Swords in reverse, and the Six of Wands. And from the True Love reading cards, we've got the Divine Masculine, we've got Self-Respect, we've got Gabriel, and we have got Michael. Okay, now I'm going to use some of these cards as well. These are just messages that I've written on some blank cards. So again, remember asking, why is your person not communicating? Why are they silent? What's blocking them from coming forward? There is too much going on in my life right now. Now, bizarrely for pile 1, this card came up in the exact same position. We found forever, but at the wrong time. You're all I ever wanted love to be. It scares me to death. I love you, but I feel tied to my karmic by the heart, and I don't know how to release myself. I know that we are twin flames. This excites and terrifies me. I never meant to hurt you. I was lost and confused and made bad decisions. Please forgive me. Now, I'm going to use some of these cards as well. This is the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine Reunited deck. We have got Sekhmet, Goddess of Rage, Transcendence, Athena, Goddess of Wisdom, and number 8, Abandonment. Let me just check these are all in shot. Might need to adjust the camera. No, you can see them all. Brill. Okay, pile 2, why is your person not communicating? Why are they silent? There's a kind of a jumbled storyline coming through for me here, and I do feel that you're on a bit of a roller coaster at the moment. What's really interesting here, and this came out first, this Three of Pentacles, and I do feel that there has actually been in the past quite a lot of interaction between you two, that you have been collaborating and working together to grow and to heal. It certainly feels like your person is, spiritually more aware. We've got the Divine Masculine card here with the lion and the eagle. These are symbols of messengers of spirit, pride, strength, and leadership. There's also Leo energy there. And it appears that your person, they know that there is something deep, meaningful, and soulful between you. They probably even know, about the twin flame concept. So it does feel like there has been a lot of interaction. And unbeknownst to you, despite there perhaps being some kind of silence at the moment, through this collaboration, through this work, and it might mean that the two of you actually work together, by the way. In a literal sense, the Three of Pentacles may indicate that this is a work colleague and you've not seen them because you've not been at work because of the pandemic stuff. But what I'm hearing for the most part is that you have actually, by being in one another's energy and by committing to interaction over a period of time, you have actually opened a door to a brand new beginning without even realizing it. Now, your person is in a very tight spot right now. And it says here, there's a lot going on in my life. We found forever, but it's the wrong time. And we've got the Nine of Swords. And this is the card of insomnia, sleepless nights, intense stress, depression, and anxiety. This is someone who is very, very worried and very, very much in the dark regards all of their feelings and the pain that they're going through. Now, I do feel that this person doesn't want to reject anyone. They're not ready to move on from this karmic connection they're in. And there is this kind of feeling here that they, it's lose-lose for them because no matter what they decide, someone is going to get hurt. And I do feel that this person has decided to give their other relationship a chance. They've decided not to move on. They've decided to work at that and to try and be more triumphant and successful in the connection that they currently exist in. And I'm feeling that as a matter of self-respect, you walked away. You stepped into your own light. You started focusing on your own growth. So, in many respects, this person has inspired you to take action towards wholeness and healing of self. This card, when it came up, and again with Archangel Michael being connected to protection, it's come up as enchantment. And I do feel that your person may be under the influence of some kind of curse energy, spell energy, or kind of ill-dignified magic. Now, I'm a spirit release therapist, so I'm very much against any kind of energy or magic work that interferes with a person's free will. And I did get an immediate instinct that this is what this pertains to. So this person could indeed have been manipulated energetically. So if this resonates for you and you felt your person pull back suddenly and unexpectedly, it may be worth investigating that. Now, spirit release therapy isn't a cheap service. I'm not actually offering it myself at the moment. I'm having a break from that and catching up on other cases I'm still working on. But you can get this service from Made for Love, or if you inquire in my Facebook group, there may be some students in there that can help you at a discounted price, that are still studying, that I've taught myself. But it definitely feels like your person could do with clearing, because it feels like there is some curse or magic energy that is interfering. So, this person said, I never meant to hurt you. I was lost and confused and I made bad decisions. So, they do feel pretty awful that they, have hurt you. But as it says here, they are connected to someone else and they're seeing that as their first responsibility and commitment, and giving that relationship an opportunity to flourish once more. And it says again, we found forever in each other, but at the wrong time. And it scares me to death that you're all I ever wanted love to be. And it's really interesting that this came through as scares me to death. That's such an English saying. But of course, the death card in tarot represents rebirth. It represents an ending and a new beginning. It represents deep and powerful transformation. It's the energy of Scorpio and the rising of the Phoenix. So even though it scares him, you have to remember that fear is what inspires and drives us to change and towards enlightenment. We've got Goddess of Rage, Sekhmet, again more lions here. And I feel like you are both very powerful people. You may both be Leos. As I said, there's quite a bit of Leo energy here. And it just feels like you really clashed because you're both so headstrong, you're both so determined, you're both fierce when it comes to getting what you want and standing your ground. So it does feel like there's been a bit of a standoff. And I'm hearing for some of you that there could be an imbalance here as well in the divine masculine and feminine energies within you. So, this person through their interactions with you and you, they, are beginning to transcend this 3D reality. You're beginning to rise like the Phoenix from the ashes, like that Scorpio death energy, and both of you are transforming. So even though this may not be immediately apparent, you can trust that this is what's happening energetically behind the scenes, and that a new beginning has opened up to you. Where you're at in your journey at the moment may not be where you want to be, but this person is for sure, changing, transforming. And we've got Athena, goddess of wisdom. Now, this is the second bird that appears here. We've got the eagle, we've got the owl. Both are messengers from spirit. Birds are always messengers of spirit, but in particular, the owl is a message of wisdom. And with this being Athena and number 4, this is about balance and stability and harmony. Now, we are in a number 4 year. And interestingly, at the beginning of this year, I said to K-Moon, I reckon this year is going to be so lovely. It's going to be so calm, and it's a number 4 year. It's all about balance, harmony, and stability. And she was like, no, girl. To get balance, harmony, and stability, shit has to break down first. There has to be chaos before there can be calm. And my God, haven't we seen that this year? So I feel like this is what this card's reminding you of, that you are moving towards balance and stability. You're moving and transcending, and you are growing into higher wisdom. But there has to be chaos before that calm. There are deep abandonment wounds here. And I'm feeling as well that this person comes from a family where one of the partners, one of the parents left the other parent, a single parent family. And so, this is this trigger of rejecting someone else. The abandonment wound doesn't just pertain to their own abandonment, fear and pain, but also the fear and shame associated with inflicting abandonment on others. This is a very highly evolved divine masculine. This is someone who's very sensitive with a very big loving heart. They want to do what's right by everyone. Now, of course, they're still learning that you can't reasonably do what's right by everyone, and ultimately we have to honour ourselves first. But it does show how dignified this person is and how much integrity they have, that, you know, they do just want to please everybody and to make this okay for everyone, and they don't want to hurt anybody, and they are so upset that they've hurt you. You know, they really are very sad about that. Right, so let's get some more cards for you. I want to get some cards for what the guidance is for you, how you can deal with these energies, and also we're going to look at some charms as well as to how you can deal with your counterpart specifically. But let's see what Spirit wants you to know. Pardon me. Right, what does Spirit want you to know by way of guidance? The Ace of Wands, the Ten of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, this is really powerful. I'm going to use some of these cards as well. These are just, they're the same as these cards, but they've got messages from Spirit on them that I just created myself. Meditation, meditation, meditation. Every experience you have ever had has led up to this moment. Release regret. Sacred union with the light supports sacred union with your person. Accept all that transpires and trust the divine plan. Time is not running out. Trust in the divine plan. Everything is as it's meant to be. So this is a powerful lineup for you. The Ace of Wands is about that spiritual new beginning. You know, there's already been a new beginning happening behind the scenes, but this asks you to grasp the wand and to run with it. This reminds you that the divine feminine energy carries the torch. She illuminates the forward path, and you carry that torch and connect with Spirit by going within through meditation. You've actually got a beautiful lineup of cards here. We've got the Ten of Cups as well, with that infinity number 8, which is a very twin flamey symbol. And these cups are overflowing. You know, that single cup fills 2 cups, fills 3 cups, brings us to balance, harmony and stability. So this is a very powerful illustration of how one love, the love of unity, the love of self, the unconditional love of self, actually creates more love. And so I feel like this is a union card, and this is reminding you that sacred union with the light supports sacred union with your person. When you connect with your divine mission, you know, you start creating an overflow of love that radiates outwards into the world, reaches your person and everyone in its path, and really transforms how life is for all of you and heals others. And you've got to release regret. There's this idea here, and they said that as well. We found forever, but at the wrong time. And sometimes you might wish that you'd made different decisions as they have. But there are no wrong decisions. There really aren't. That you've not done anything wrong. You're exactly where you're meant to be. And everything you've learned and everything you've experienced today has not just made you who you are, but it's prepared you for the next stage. So even if you can't see the relevance of some of it now, you need to trust. And again, I talked about this in my post today. You know, it was 38 years of pain before I arrived at wholeness and happiness. And I would go through that 38 years of drama again, over and over again, to be where I am now. I now lovingly accept all of my experiences, and you're being called to do the same. You're also being asked to recognize that everything is transient, that how things are now aren't how they're always going to be. And you've got to trust that this is an infinite cycle and flow of energy and love that's constantly moving you in the right direction. The Hermit asks you to go within, and it's represented here by the sloth, which for me is asking you also to slow down. Okay, you need to spend more time on self-reflection. You need to spend more time on self-healing and self-love, and, you know, really cultivate and nurture every opportunity to move into acceptance and surrender, to trust in the divine flow of energy, which is very clearly moving you forward, whether you recognize it or not. The Wheel of Fortune is about timing. It's also the card of destiny and fate and change cycles, the wheel turning. And it says here, time is not running out. Trust in the divine plan. Everything is as it's meant to be. You are on a destined path. You haven't done anything wrong. Trust in the energy of union and completion, success and victory, because that's the direction that you are in fact moving in. You know, this is happening for you, not to you. And I promise you it's going to be okay. So how do you deal with your person in the short term? I feel like one more. That's two more. Right, so we have the tape measure, the Italia symbol, the wizard in training. Oh, there's two more there as well. You've got quite a few. The fortune teller, the red crown, you are safe with me, bullshit remover, and this little clock here. Okay, so the tape measure. Now, the tape measure, oh, sorry about the wobbly camera. The tape measure literally asks you to be more measured in your responses and your actions and behaviors. Again, this is about slowing down, taking the time to observe carefully, to consider everything carefully before you make decisions. As soon as this came out for me, I felt this energy of impulsiveness, this need to rush in because you just want everything to happen, you know, and you just need to slow down and allow things to move at their own pace. And look at these numbers that are emphasized here. 4, which we had here with the goddess of wisdom, balance and stability. You know, 4 leads to 5, which is higher learning, transformation and change. And then we've got 10, completion, which was also demonstrated here with the 10 of cups and the wheel of fortune. Now, I don't say this very often, but you know, I don't believe the tarot looks more than 3 to 6 months ahead. I mean, it can look farther ahead, but the farther ahead we look, the less likely it is to be accurate, because so many people have free will and so much can change. But I do feel like this is a powerful, reassuring indicator that you are making your way towards completion, towards union energies. Just slow down and stop trying to rush things, or you're going to miss vital steps. And again, we have another clock here, which is also about timing and patience. And it's on number 7 and number 1. Number 7 is a very divine number. It's, you know, the number of divinity. And number 1 is the energy of unity and union. So, you know, you've got to go through 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to reach, you know, 6 is the number of unconditional love. So we literally have the high priestess. Yeah, she's emotionally and intuitively receptive to spirit. This helps her step into number 3, the Empress energy. That restores balance and harmony and opens the door to number 5, higher learning and transformation, which in turn means that you step into unconditional love, number 6, divinity, and then 8, then you're actually in that divine flow of energy. Now 9 is the hermit energy. You know, that inner self-reflection, that being so full up with unconditional love that you're happy in your independence and solitude. And then we've got 10, completion. Now, of course, 11 is the number of awakening, but it's also a combination of 1, unity, and 2, duality. And number 3 returns us to the Empress, number 12, which reduces to 3, returns us to the Empress, which is all of creation. So there are also 11 strands of DNA, and the 12th is the twin strand. So you've got to trust. Now, there is an Italia symbol here. This one pops out every now and then. So your person may be Italian. Perhaps you've spoken about moving to Italy. Perhaps you met in Italy, or there's some connection through Italy between you and this person. It could just be the colours here, that there's something to do with the culture that you need to understand. The colours, of course, represent the heart chakra, the root chakra, and the crown chakra. So there is definitely a connection here, and this has just come out as a sign to, I guess, affirm or validate the messages in this reading for you. We've also got the bullshit remover. And I feel like, you know, this came out with the you are safe with me. And ultimately, I think you need to really push the ego noise aside and listen to your heart. Because even though this person has made you feel very afraid and perhaps not as comfortable, secure and stable as you would like, in reality, you know, this message here is saying, you know, all of that fear is just noise. It's not real. It's BS. You know, you're safe with this person and it's going to be okay because you're connected to them. But you have to trust in the divine motion. And I'm hearing with this one that you need to stop looking for answers as to what's coming next. The need to know is born of fear. The need to know is about wanting information so you can control or prepare yourself for an outcome which you might perceive as undesirable or frightening. The need to know is egoic. And this is why I don't talk too much about the future in my reading. It's all about the present and how you can empower yourself through the awareness of what's happening in your present. So you need to stop watching a billion readings, okay? Trying to figure out where this is going and what's going to happen. Just trust in the divine plan. Trust in your own forward momentum. And we've got the red crown here. This is the colour of the root chakra. And I'm hearing for you guys that one of the keys to opening up to spirit is to start working through your inner child wounds that are blocking up your root and your ability to ground yourself in this reality. Your reality has been so painful. I'm hearing there's been so much pain in your life that, you know, it's stopping you from appreciating life as a gift. And when you start working through this inner child pain, it's going to help you connect with spirit and connect with all of the joy that resides there and accept life as a gift and as a blessing. There's a lot of childhood healing for you to do. And continue developing your astral and psychic skills, because I do feel that this person, knowing that they are your twin flame, is actually very fascinated by the supernatural aspects of this connection, and that actually you two are very powerful when it comes to astral and telepathic communication and the integration that occurs between your higher selves. You know, there is so much power between you, and you need to honor that and continue supporting your expansion and your development as far as spirituality and psychic work is concerned. So I really, really hope that helped you, Pile 2. It was an absolute pleasure to read for you. And hopefully you'll join me again soon. If you did enjoy this reading, please do hit the like button. It massively helps my channel to grow. It only takes you 2 seconds and it makes such a difference to me. It's a very small price to pay for the free content that I provide for you here. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And the same for watching an advert. You know, you guys send me donations and decks, and it's so very kind of you. But when you watch an advert, I do get a small bit of revenue for you having done so, and that helps me so much. So, you know, that really is more than enough. And I'm so very grateful for your time and for your inclination to support me that way. So thank you very much. And don't forget to join me on Instagram. You can find me at happysouls1111. Okay, Pile 3. You chose Amatrine. Let's do this. If you want to know what cards I'm using, you can find them in the description box below. This is the Sakki Tarot, so let's see what tarot cards we've got for you. We have got the 8 of Cups, the Tower, Justice, the Star in reverse, the Devil, and the 9 of Wands. And from the True Love reading cards, we have Emotional Freedom. We have the Distorted Feminine. We have Sandalphon, Evolution. And Michael, Patience. Interestingly, Michael's appeared in this position for all of the readings. Isn't that powerful? Blessings there from Archangel Michael. I love that. Pardon me. I'm going to use some of these cards as well. These are just love messages, really, that I've written on blanks. So let's get some of these for your person. Why aren't they communicating? Why are they silent? What do we need to know about this? Okay, let's do this. I wish I could tell you how I really feel, but it's so hard. You say you want me and love me unconditionally, but you don't seem happy with who I am. I listen to all the songs we have shared to help me make sense of what's happening. I don't understand why you love me so much. It makes me think you must be crazy. I am beginning to understand. My heart is blocked. I don't feel anything. So I'm going to get some of these cards as well. This is the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine Reunited deck. We have got Goddess Kali, Goddess of Destruction. Lilith, Goddess of Power. Codependency. And Selfhood. Okay, so I feel like you have been in a very codependent relationship with this person. You are very codependent, they are very codependent, and therefore this was a, somewhat turbulent experience for the both of you. But there are many indicators here. We've actually got the codependency card and the devil. Now, this person is not communicating with you because they are really trying to figure out what's in their own heart and mind. This person is disconnected from their emotions, and they're looking, they want to be free of all of the pain, all of those unpleasant feelings that transpire within our emotional body. This person is running from what's in their heart. They're running from what exists within them emotionally. But also they have recognized the dysfunctional patterns in this connection. And it does feel like with this distorted feminine energy that your expectations, your desires to really, need them and to be anxiously attached to them has kind of created a lot of imbalances within this connection. And it's interesting here, it says you say you want me and that you love me unconditionally, but you don't seem happy with who I am. So for sure there has been a miscommunication here. This is someone saying, oh, I love you so much, I love you unconditionally, but then in the next breath saying, you should have done this, you should have done that, you're wrong, I'm angry, I'm upset, you're not giving me what I need, you're not giving me what I deserve. It's a contradiction. So to express unconditional love, you've got to walk the talk. Unconditional means without conditions. It means without expectations, without demands. And I feel like you've not necessarily lived up to that desire to be in that energy. Now, there's no shame here because we've all been in that energy. So, I'm not beating you up or telling you off. I'm just being honest with you and bringing to your attention what's blocking communication in this connection right now. And a distorted feminine energy is, right there in the center. And this person needed freedom from those expectations and from the weight of shame that they felt in not being able to meet your expectations. When we communicate with someone about what we want and what we believe we need, there are two ways of doing this. One of those ways is to express how we feel. And the other way is to blame the other person for not having behaved differently so that we don't feel that way. And what's actually happening when you do that is you're denying responsibility for self. You're putting your happiness and your feel-good factor in the hands of someone else. You're saying, this is your job and responsibility. I'm unhappy because of you. And it's because you're not doing this, or you're not meeting these expectations, or you're not treating me how I deserve. And that's not unconditional love, and it doesn't cultivate trust or loyalty or equanimity or peace. It cultivates push-pull, runner-chaser energy. What you're actually doing is pushing someone away and punishing them with shame, with guilt for not meeting your needs. But you need to learn to meet your own needs. Now, for sure, there has been something very explosive come crashing down between you. We've got the Tower here, and we've also got Kali, Goddess of Destruction. That's number 5, the number of transformation. And we've also got Lilith, number 7, Goddess of Power. Now, Lilith kind of represents the darker side of our power. And it's an interesting story behind Lilith. You can see here she's got the snake and the apple. That reminds you of the Garden of Eden, right? And that's because Lilith was actually the first woman that God created. And so he created Adam and he created Lilith, and he said to Lilith, Lilith, this is how it's going to be. You obey man. And Lilith said, I don't like the sound of that. What about equality? Why can't I, do what I want, be who I want? Why aren't we equal? Why is he better than me? And God said, that's just the way it is. You either accept that's the way it is or you leave the garden. And at this stage, no one had left the Garden of Eden. No one knew what was beyond it. So Lilith went, all right then, bitch, I'm off. And she did. She left the garden and she was never heard of since. So Lilith has become a representation of rebellion, of resistance to patriarchal systems. And what I'm feeling with this energy coming through for you is that you've been so badly disrespected by patriarchy, that you have now risen up against it, but you've swung to the opposite extreme. This is ill-dignified power. This is misguided power. This is, aggression and assertion used to the wrong end. So I feel like in demanding and saying, I will not be treated like this, I expect more, I deserve more, that you're actually moving into, an energy which doesn't necessarily serve you. It can feel very empowering, and anger can certainly help you. It's quite a high vibrational energy compared to some others. But you do need to really reflect on how your communication style, and I'm sure this came up in Path 3 yesterday as well, but it's not just your communication style, it's the energy behind it, it's the self-righteousness, this indignance, but really it's all about codependency. You want this person to behave in certain ways so you can feel good, and that's not their job to make you feel good, that's your job. Now there's certainly karma here. We've got justice. This is also the card of balance, and it can even indicate legal issues. I don't normally read that card that literally, but that came through this time. So there may have been some kind of legal issues for you too, some court action. I don't know why that might have been, but there's something coming through there that, there was some kind of truth or legal issues that are also a blockage here. And in reality, this person doesn't have much hope that this can be okay. Now, I will say that they are very much obsessed with you as much as you are with them. But again, this is codependent energy. And this person is now on a mission of selfhood. They're running away. They'll always come back. That 8 is cyclic. It comes back in on itself. So please be reassured that this person is coming back. But right now, they're leaving, and creating space for you both is so that you can both heal and develop this selfhood. You need to focus on self-healing, self-awareness, self-reflection and growth. This is where your power is. This person, for sure has pulled back because they've recognized that this codependence is destructive, it's not healthy, and they want emotional freedom from the pressures of trying to live up to these mad expectations you have. And again, I say that not to offend you, but just to make you aware that whilst you're upset with some of their behaviours or their lack of effort or attentiveness at times, the way you're communicating that to them and the way you're demanding certain adjustments isn't healthy either, and that there is a need to take a really good look at yourself in this respect. But this person hasn't given up. They really haven't given up. You're being asked to be patient here and trust that both of you are actually evolving beyond these energies and that it is going to be okay. This person also has significant self-worth issues. And again, I'm hearing that by you communicating to them how dissatisfied you are, that's really triggering for them and really does deepen those self-worth issues. But they are beginning to understand their role in this. They're beginning to understand the difference between healthy love and distorted love. And I do believe that this person is prepared to and wants to change. They would love to tell you how they feel, but remember their heart is blocked and it's very difficult for them to feel anything. For sure, they're connecting to you through music. I feel like this person is generally probably not the most articulate person anyway when it comes to communication, especially when it comes to deep, feeling related communication. So, you know, they may send you a lot of music or share songs with you, or even make songs freely available, putting them left and center where they know you're going to see them, such as on social media or something. And you need to pay a bit of attention here, because they are communicating with you in other ways, even though they're not directly. But for sure, it feels like the energies between you, you've been blaming this person. In reality, you need to take responsibility for your share of what's occurred between you, because this connection has collapsed or has come to a kind of end, perhaps even a bitter end, with this Justice card, with some kind of legal action, because of the distorted energy in both of you. Yeah? It's not just this person. And your power is in identifying this and managing your energy. Right, so guidance for you. We've got the Nine of Cups in reverse. We've got the Star in reverse again. We've got the Fool. We've got the Sun. And we've got the Lovers in reverse. And I'm going to get some more of these cards that I've written on. These aren't messages from your person. These are messages from Spirit. Find your soul tribe. Pardon me. That's a big lump in my throat there. You might have a throat chakra blockage as well. Dream big. Your thoughts equals creation. Oh, that's a message. That's in the wrong deck, but that says, I'm so proud of how far you've come. You inspire me every day. So that's a beautiful message snuck in there from your person. And again, I've just put these in the wrong pile, clearly. I know that we are twin flames, and this excites and terrifies me. Your soul is calling you. Answer the call. So, you know, this person did say, it says, I'm beginning to understand. And we have got that distorted feminine energy. So perhaps they do understand this runner-chaser dynamic and what's required of you both more than you would let on. I'm hearing that you were perhaps unaware that they knew this about you two. But it feels like that's a confirmation from Spirit that this person is more aware of what's happening between you than you realised. Now, for guidance, the Nine of Cups in reverse, I mean, upright, this is a card of wish fulfillment, self-fulfillment, and radical emotional balance and peace within self. And for me, this is, you know, this is again asking you to bring yourself into balance, to take responsibility for your emotional nature, and to recognize that you can cultivate the energy of feeling good. You don't need anyone else to do that for you. It's no one else's job. It's your responsibility alone. But you are being asked also to connect with your soul tribe. And, you know, if you are on a spiritual path, which it appears from this card you are, there are other people experiencing this in exactly the same way you are. As I said, there's no shame in where you're at in this journey. And, you know, this card here about you don't seem happy with who I am, we've all been that way. We've all been that energy of demanding and wanting more from our partners and wishing they were different and blaming them for how we feel. So there's no shame here, and there are so many people out there that understand what you're going through and are ready to put their arms around you. If you haven't joined my Facebook group already, you can find a link for it in the description below. It's a support group for people that are on a journey like this. So please come and say hello. We are there for you. But there is a need to really start taking responsibility, and it's interesting that this card has come up over emotional freedom for you. Now, the Star in reverse, this message is being reinforced. The Star in reverse demonstrates a lack of hope and a lack of optimism, a lack of faith, and it's come up again, and it's reminding you that your thoughts equals creation. So all of the pessimistic, negative, limiting beliefs and thoughts you're having about yourself, this person, and this connection, you know, are actually manifesting more of what you don't want. In order to break this cycle, you have to start thinking differently. You have to start recognizing how your thoughts create your reality, and that the universe will keep presenting you with the same experiences, the same people, the same environments and circumstances, until you realize that you have to create a better reality for yourself. Those experiences will continue to present until you learn. So you're a very powerful manifestor is what I'm hearing here. Learning about the law of attraction, Abraham Hicks, The Secret, all that kind of stuff is really going to help you understand how powerful your thoughts are. And I would recommend that you watch the series Rewired by Dr. Joe Dispenza. You can find it on Amazon Prime. He talks about what thoughts do to our brain from a neuroscientific perspective, and how adjusting our thoughts changes our life. So, this is proven to be scientifically true and real. We are what we believe we are. Our thoughts equals creation. So you're being asked here to recognize your own pessimistic and kind of dark outlook on yourself, your person, and this connection. But trust you can have a new beginning. You can always start over. Every day is a new day. Every day you can once more enjoy all the purity, innocence, and potential contained within your experience. It's always there for you. And your person is saying, I am proud of you and how far you've come. And as I said that, I'm hearing of how far we have come. I feel like you two have been on this journey a long time. For some of you, you may have been married and divorced with that Justice card. But, you do inspire this person, even though you get angry with one another and sometimes you resent one another and things can be destructive and explosive, as we've seen with the Tower. There is a lot of love here. The Sun. The Sun is actually divine masculine energy. So it's interesting it's come up under this twin flame card. But the Sun is also about joy and childhood innocence, and this has come up next to the Fool, which is very much about that same purity and innocence. And it's also about happiness, and embodying the light. So I really feel that you're being asked to look on the bright side, to cultivate joy and happiness for yourself, and to make this your first priority, to not focus on union or being with this person at this stage, because this separation serves you. This time you're in is about selfhood, and your soul is calling you to answer the call, to heal yourself, to focus on selfhood and your spiritual journey. Find your soul tribe, get stuck in. You've been going around in circles for too long. So let's get some charms as well. Guidance for you in terms of how to deal with your person's silence and absence. So we've got two crystals out for you. The rose quartz, which is the stone of unconditional love, and it's a heart shape as well. And a piece of amethyst, which is about divinity, intuition, and spirituality. It's also a stone which soothes and relaxes your dream state. So I'm hearing that you do connect with this person through your dreams, and the amethyst will support that connection, that you need to clear your third eye, throat and cerebellum chakra. We've got IPHM. I'll explain what that is in a minute. We've got I'm trying and that's enough. We've got the white rabbit. We've got good vibes, the party sloth, the 3 of swords. We've got the aeroplane and slightly bitter. So I'm going to come to IPHM first, because this is really powerful. Now, this charm, I actually received this when I joined IPHM, which is an organisation that accredits holistic practitioners. So as a spirit release therapist and crystal healer and Reiki Master, all that other stuff, I belong to this organisation, which kind of, I guess, offers my clients some reassurance that, I'm professional and I work with this, governing body. Now, I just tossed this in my charm bowl, but the symbols here are really powerful. The wreath, of course, we'd recognise from Greek mythology, represents peace. The earth represents, Mother Earth and completion. And the little star here is hope and optimism. But this is about spiritual and holistic work. And I really feel that this is what's going to complete you, bring you hope, bring you peace, as well as giving you opportunities to carry that light, peace and hope into the world. So there's a message here that you need to really answer that call, because you've got a beautiful big mission to spread your good vibes. And again, I got quite a lot of information when I picked up the amethyst for you. So there could be a message here, about working with crystals as well. Now, we've also got, I'm trying and that's enough. And I feel like as far as your person's concerned, this is asking you to respect and honour their contribution, and to recognise that when they've let you down, it's not because they didn't care or because they wanted to let you down. It's because their best just didn't quite match up to your expectations. But they are trying, and that needs to be enough. You need to recognise that part of loving unconditionally is to accept them as they are, and to recognise that they too are human beings that make mistakes, that hurt people, that can't be perfect at all times. None of us can. So that this is asking you to soften up somewhat and to really reflect on the things this person has done right, rather than being so focused on what they haven't. It does feel like there's the energy of impatience here as well. You know, this is wanting to rush things forward and to get back together and to get what you want. But you're being asked to slow down, to release impatience, to recognise that this trigger is born of fear, and to just allow things to unfold at their own time. Because right now, you know, there's a lot of healing to be done. You need to focus on your own good vibes, on cultivating good vibes. And we've got slightly bitter and the Three of Swords here. And I feel like this is the heart pain and the bitterness and the resentment that exists between you, and it's asking you to be aware of it. You know, when life gives you lemons, don't squirt it in people's eyes. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. That's a funny old saying, but you know, you need to work through this pain and grief in your heart and release all that bitterness and resentment, and recognise this person really has tried their best. They've been their best, and they know that's not always good enough, but it has to be enough. If you love this person unconditionally, you need to accept them as they are. With a Find Your Soul tribe, I always see the party sloth as a lazy party animal. He's someone that perhaps wants to party and to be sociable, but in reality he probably isn't, because he's a sloth and he doesn't really move much. So there could be an indicator here for you to get out and socialise more, and perhaps also to accept a more social, platonic kind of friendship with your person if that's appropriate. Sometimes just kind of investing in friendship and taking the pressure and expectation out of the circumstances and the connection can allow you to rediscover one another and what you like about one another, and can allow you to kind of, you know, find more peace in your connection. We've also got the aeroplane. Now, the aeroplane is not just about taking a flight, it's also about moving forward, ascending, and travel. So there could be a potential trip or vacation for the two of you. Perhaps the plane is some other significance. Any of these charms can just be signs or symbols that you recognize to offer some kind of validation or affirmation of the other messages. But I do feel like for me, the first thing that came up is ascension. Trust that you're taking flight, you're taking off, and that this is going to be okay, that you're moving in the right direction on this journey. And you know, when you're on the plane, you know where you're going, right? You don't need to rush up to the cockpit every 2 minutes to say, Mr. Pilot, where are we now? What's happening next? How long is it going to be? You know, you just get in the plane and you surrender to the journey and you allow the plane to take you there. And it feels like the divine is asking you to see them as this vehicle to carry you to where you need to go, and to trust that they're driving you in the right direction. You are being guided. Your soul is calling you. Answer the call. So I really hope that helped pile 3. I'm sending you big love and big hugs and reminding you can and will get through this. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it so much. If you enjoyed this reading, please do hit the like button. It takes you 2 seconds and it really makes a tremendous difference to my channel. And if you would like to see more content like this, definitely hit the subscribe button, tap the bell icon, and you will get more notifications every time I post. Not more, but you will get a notification every time I post, and that's never a bad thing. So I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Lots of love. Bye.